Let's talk for a little bit. I'm pretty sure most of you have either watched Quiet on Set or you've at least heard of Quiet on Set. That's the documentary about Nickelodeon for those of you who are unaware. I just want to say, yes, I was very informed, but it's pretty bad when I get so invested in a documentary, I get mad. And here's why. Just for clarification, I'm not mad at the documentary itself. I found it very informative and it was really well put together. The reason I was getting mad is because of how these child stars were treated over the years. You would think for a set, when you're working on any set, whether you're a child star or even an adult, you would think you would want a safe environment for everyone to feel comfortable and welcomed in. But instead, you deal with all these things, such as being overworked, harassment, whatever the case may be. That's not okay with me. This doesn't just go for Nickelodeon. Yes, I know the documentary is mostly about Nickelodeon in this case, but this is not just for Nickelodeon. Any set where you're having children involved, you would think you want everyone to feel safe and welcome and, be warm and accepting. But nope, you're going to overwork them, harass them, make them do things they're not comfortable with. Like, what are you thinking? It's one thing if a child wants to do something like YouTube, a TV show, movie, whatever the case may be. That's one thing if they want to. It's another thing when you're forced into it and you don't want to. That's another thing. And honestly, that's what happened with most of these child stars. It's not even just the ones we grew up with. This has been going on for years, many, many years. A lot of these child stars have been forced into the industry by their families. And yes, there are some child stars that turn out fine. Obviously, everyone has a different experience in Hollywood, especially. Everyone has their own experiences, depending on the person. And sometimes it's a good experience, but most of the time it's usually not a good experience for them. And they deserve better. Honestly, looking back, it's like these celebrities have sacrificed their childhoods for our childhoods. And that's not right. Everyone deserves a chance to be a normal kid. And once you're a celebrity, even as an adult, honestly, they are constantly on your back, watching your every move, following everything you do. And you're literally under a microscope, pretty much. You get no sense of privacy. You have no chance of actual freedom, pretty much. And it's like, why? Honestly, these children, child stars especially, they've pretty much, got their childhoods taken away from them. They never got to experience what it was like to be a normal kid. And that's not right. And this goes for anything. TV shows, movies, even YouTube channels. Why would you do this to a child especially? Here's a scenario for you guys. Okay, imagine me as a parent, and let's say my child gets an audition for a movie. Great. Okay, so think these questions to yourself. Would I encourage them to try something new? Yes. Would I support them every step of the way? Absolutely. I want to be there for my children no matter what. Would I get mad and punish my child for not doing something they're not comfortable doing? I would not punish my child or get mad. If they're not comfortable doing something, I don't want to force them into a situation where they're not comfortable. And that's what happens to a lot of child stars. They get forced into a business like this when they're not comfortable, and look how they turn out. Yes, some child stars turn out fine with some obstacles along the way. Then you got some that just fly off the rail and get into drugs and then all this legal trouble. It's crazy. As much as I want to be encouraging, if my child doesn't want to do something or if they're not comfortable with it, I am not going to force it upon them, and I am not going to punish them because of it. If I were to have children, which I do want kids, I'm not going to lie, I do want them. If I were to have kids, honestly, I would just rather them be happy, and I would rather them be, normal kids. It's one thing to want to try something new, but it's another thing if they have to feel pressured to make me happy. I'd rather my child be happy. And I wish more parents thought that way instead of forcing their kids into doing something they don't want to do. This goes for any child. I would rather a child to feel safe. I would want them to feel loved. I want them to, be happy, healthy, whatever the case may be. I would rather all those things than for a child to be a cash grab for their parents. That's how it is, honestly. I would never want to force my future children into something like this. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it. I'm not going to pressure them. I'm not going to make them feel like they're disappointing me. That is not okay. I just wish more parents thought that way. This doesn't even go for just Hollywood. It also goes for like YouTube and family vlogs. I just wish that parents thought more about their kids and their well-being. I don't know. Unfortunately, not everyone sees that way. What are you guys' thoughts on the situation?